So this is OnePlus 9RT retail unit, and if you joined the last week SNL, we bought it right in front of you.
This is OnePlus RT 5G. It's for 53,000. If you have GST, you get it for 36.
So all the questions were mostly around, is it better than OnePlus 9R? How improved is the OnePlus 9RT compared to OnePlus 9 and OnePlus 9R? Well, this is Prateek. You're already watching TechWiser. And by the way, same long OnePlus style box. You have OnePlus 9RT written on the side. Same paperwork. Same 65 watt warp charge. Interestingly, again, it is not a PD charger. And OnePlus provides a PD charger with OnePlus 9 in the US, not in India. Come on. USB A to Type-C cable. I like the case that they give. Black color. At least this won't look fried after 6 months. Like this. Keeping all of this aside, phone. Now you don't get a headphone jack, but you do have an alert slider. The phone looks really good. Like it feels it's 42,999. So the back is glass, but it has a matte finish and you have this texture over it which makes it even more grippy. And you get a metal frame, same as OnePlus 9R. So the phone is tall and not at all one-handed, and you get a 6.62-inch E4 AMOLED display with Corning Gorilla Glass 5. Now, if you're thinking what is E4 AMOLED display, well, it's a Samsung display and it is meant to be more bright, as you can see. And E4 AMOLED gives you better contrast ratio and even saves power at the same time. Now, surprisingly, people were expecting a 10-bit display because of iQOO 9, but yes, it's 8-bit and also fixed at 120Hz, so no variable refresh rate. Now, one interesting thing that I saw, see here, YouTube is locked at 60Hz. Now it is 120, and now when I open YouTube, it is 60Hz. And OnePlus has been doing this for quite some time. YouTube and the other apps are locked at 60Hz. And you would be like, come on, it's YouTube. YouTube doesn't run at 120Hz. Well, it even does it for games like Alto's Odyssey or Alto's Adventure. See here, this is Alto's Adventure, and see when I open the game, it switches to 60Hz. So it caps a lot of apps at 60Hz, and I've been playing the same game on S21 FE and other 888 phones. It runs on 120Hz. And this problem existed on OnePlus 9, OnePlus 9R, and it is on OnePlus 9RT as well. Now, this trick is done to save battery life, but you are paying for a 120Hz display, right? So why you should play games at 60Hz? Maybe this issue should be resolved in OxygenOS 12. We'll wait for that. Also, you get stereo speakers. Here, have a listen. Now it's loud, it's good. There's no depth to the sound, and if you hear, 60 to 70% volume is coming from the bottom speakers. So it's not evenly distributed. Okay, camera time. This is the part which I'm most interested in. Now it uses a 50 megapixel IMX766 f1.8 main sensor. It is the same sensor that you find in Nord 2 as well as OnePlus 9 Pro. So human skin tone is the part which I'm most interested in. So let me take Manu's photo over here. And in the normal photo, there's a very bright sunlight coming from the backside. And as you can see on Manu's face, there is that HDR artifact that you see. The photo looks over-sharpened, over-processed. And in portrait mode, the edge detection is nice. But again, I can see that skin tone is a bit towards pinkish side and it takes cooler photos. Now again, in this portrait mode photo, the edge detection is fine on his hair and all, but it misses a bit on his shoulder, which is again fine. But you can see this halo effect all around Manu, which is bad HDR processing. And here you have this white building, and the OnePlus 9R had this pink cast issue, which should be evident if present over here, and it's not that much. And as soon as I switch to the ultra wide angle camera, you can see the pink cast issue is much more evident. It's very little on the front camera, but it's pretty evident on the ultra wide angle camera. Also, the 16 megapixel ultra wide angle camera is good in outdoor light conditions. Sometimes it misses HDR, like you can see in both the images. This is the same picture, but it happens. So in proper well lit condition, it's sharp, it's good. The front selfie camera is also decent, but again, that HDR artifact issue is there in the front selfie camera as well. And also you get the 2 megapixel macro camera, which is, of course. Also, there is no warning when now you shoot at 4K 60 FPS, and the autofocus, as you can see, even in 4K 60 FPS, is pretty fast. And you get a 16 megapixel front selfie camera, and as you can see, there is bright sunlight behind me, so you can have an idea of the HDR performance. By the way, the front selfie camera can only record max 1080p, and you can also check the mic quality. Now performance is the most interesting part because this comes with flagship Snapdragon 888, 8GB LPDDR5 RAM and 128GB UFS 3.1 storage. Now Snapdragon 888 had heating issues, but here if you see, we have kept CPU throttling for the past 15 minutes, no throttling. But ColorOS, Realme or OnePlus phones now have a toggle for unlocking high performance mode. Now you might wonder why. You paid for the phone and by default it should run at max performance, right? Well, I agree with you, but this OnePlus throttling issue is since the OnePlus 9 days and this again should be fixed in OxygenOS 12. That's what I'm waiting for. Now in performance mode, the score or instructions per minute have increased and it throttled a bit more, but all cool. Now CPU throttling is a very stressful app. The same amount of load never happens in real life or even while playing games. See, in BGMI it ran smooth. Like you can play 60 FPS or extreme frames in Ultra HD graphics. Wow, that's nice. Hello, can I kill you from behind? Thank you. But for heat testing in practical usage, I'll play Genshin Impact, which is a very heavy game at highest graphics and 60 FPS for 15 minutes. And as you can see, there are a bit of frame drops here and there, but to be honest, this is a very heavy game.
Bet you can't keep up with me.
So I just defeated a bunch of monsters and we are done with the 15 minutes. And the temperature on the back is about 34.9. On the front it's about 36, 37. 37 is max. The cooling layer actually works. So if you're looking for this phone for gaming, I hope you had an idea, man. And finally, software. Well, it is OxygenOS 11 merged with ColorOS 11. Yes, it's Android 11 right out of the box. The settings, camera menu are from ColorOS, but they look pretty consistent now. I'm not bothered about that. The gestures, everything is fluid, great. Like there's no bloatware or ads, which is again great. But here, have a look. You have 3 file managers, one from OnePlus, 2 from Google, which is fine again, more file managers. But none of these can be uninstalled. You can of course uninstall it using ADB, but not from the phone. The haptic feedback is good, like the motor is good, but it's not implemented well in the OS, so it's not that flagship level haptic feedback. Now what I'll see in the full review is OxygenOS 12, how stable and good it is. Plus the long-term performance and if games are unlocked for 120Hz or at least 90Hz. Else, what's the point of getting a 888 phone and still playing games at 60Hz? So the OnePlus 9RT will get 3 years of Android updates, which is Android 12, 13 and 14. Now this is same as OnePlus 9R. That will also get updates till Android 14. At least the latest phone, OnePlus 9RT, should have an extra 1 year of Android update. So this brings us to our question. Should you prefer the OnePlus 9RT over OnePlus 9 and OnePlus 9R? Well, my cousin asked me the same exact question yesterday. See, you get Wi-Fi 6, 3CA, 4G carrier aggregation, which is really good. Plus, you also get 8 5G bands this time. You have the same 4500 mAh battery with 65 watt charging, which goes like 0 to 100 in 30 minutes, which is crazy. But all of these things existed on OnePlus 9R as well. So my most interesting check was, has the camera improved? Well, in our limited testing, the HDR issue, the human skin tone, that things still exist. Has the performance improved? Well, yes, 10 to 20%. But the Snapdragon 870 on the OnePlus 9R is still a very stable chip and also powerful. The OnePlus 9RT is not a bad phone, but it doesn't offer much over the OnePlus 9R. So I would say if there is a difference of 10,000 between the OnePlus 9R and OnePlus 9RT, consider the OnePlus 9R. And like my cousin, if the difference goes down with exchange offers and all of that to 3,000, 4,000, like he got the OnePlus 9RT for 32, 33,000 with the exchange offer bonus. At that price, you can consider OnePlus 9RT, and consider is the important keyword. There is still a lot of testing to do. The OxygenOS 12 has to come, and I've used the phone only for 1 day, so a long-term review is in works. On that note, this is Prateek. You can also watch the S20 FE 5G review over here and the S21 FE, which comes in the same price bracket, and I'll see you pretty soon.